Alrighty, so today I'm going to show you how to play Magic the Gathering. So, first thing you need to know is really what's kind of going to be on your table when you play. So, the first and main thing right now is going to be this. This is going to be your deck, also known as your library. This is going to be where all of your cards are going to start at the beginning of the game. Above that, we're going to have the graveyard. This is where all your spells go when you cast them, or if one of your creatures here dies. They're going to go and end up here. Now, there's still a possibility that you can get cards out of the graveyard depending on certain cards' abilities, and like other spells can do that. But one thing that once it goes into, can't come out is going to be this. This is your exile pile. Once a card goes in here, it cannot come back. A lot of abilities will ask you to exile the card, or like certain more powerful cards will ask you to exile them, or make you exile an opponent's card, or something like that. Now, next thing down here is actually going to be your hand. That, like most card games, it's going to be hidden. You don't want people to see them. I'm just kind of laying them out here because I only have one hand right now. So yeah, all your cards are gonna. These are gonna be the cards you can play if so long as you have enough mana. Speaking of mana, this here is where your mana is gonna be, or also known as your land. Land is what you need to cast spells and creatures and stuff, and actually get them on the battlefield. Right below your library here is going to be where you're going to keep your health. There are many ways to keep track of that. This particular deck, you can buy in pre-made decks. Came with this little counter here. It'll focus here, but anyways, right here, there's a little window. Typically, you'll start with 20 health in a standard Magic game. But another way to keep track of them is using... this is a 20-sided die. You can use that. Pen and paper is also a good method. But typically, this is really what's gonna kind of your side of the battlefield is gonna look like typically. So, and like there's some artifacts and enchantments that might go on the side here. So, So now that you kind of know what's going to be on the field, it's also a good idea to know how to make a deck. So a typical Magic deck will have 60 or more cards. The minimum is 60. You have to have at least 60 cards in a deck. There are many colors you can add to your deck. You have yellow, blue, black, red, and green. They all have different kind of abilities. So green will typically have higher health. Red going to be higher damage. Black gives you like negative status effects to other cards. Blue usually is your assist cards. These are going to have your positive effects for your cards. White here is going to be is going to give you health, and gives you like defense and stuff. So, yeah, typically, most of the time you'll want to have maybe only one or two colors in your deck. It's usually just easier to keep track of and better play the game. So, now that you kind of have all of that down, let's start with really what your first round would typically look like. So, in your first round, you're usually going to want to play a land. This year we have multiple of those. Land is used to, like I said, summon creatures. This one's here, legendary, so it's going to typically have a higher mana cost, but it's good to see if it'll focus here. Oh, sorry about that. Come on. Well, anyway, I wish it would have focused, but I guess it's not going to. Let's see if it'll work with this card, I guess. There we go. So here is your mana cost for any creature or mana cost is going to be always up in this upper right corner here. So this first one here is going to match the symbol on your land, as you can see. So this is a specific land color. You need to play at least one of these lands to actually summon this creature. The number next to it, this can be any color land. It's known as colorless land. It can be any color